Morning everybody, it's Rob, Yoga Dad. Really great to see you all again for another series of stretch sessions at 8:30 every day. This time it's a summer stretch challenge. It's all in aid of charities. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. But let's just get started. Let's get straight into our stretches this morning. Okay, so I'm going to start on a seat. It's my trusty IKEA stool that I always use, and let's find a firm foundation through our feet. So the way we do that, you can't really see my feet here, but I'm just really grounding down through the feet to all four corners, grounding down through the heels, and I'm going to lift each of the toes up. And as I do so, I'm going to gently lay each toe back down to the floor. And as I do so, and I invite you to do so as well, really feel that connection now through all four corners of the feet, through all of the toes, and then place the palms across the knees. I'm just taking a moment to close the eyes and just start drawing the attention inwards. So if, like me, you've had a really busy weekend, relentless weekend in fact with the boys, just taking this time out for 15 minutes together may be just what you need. So sink into that space, sink into the seats, and now taking the hands away from the knees and interlocking the fingers. And just placing the palms across the heart. And as you do so, let's just imagine that we're joining hands together. That we're all wrapping our hands around our heart and really feeling that warmth through the palms as it emanates down through into the heart and the rest of the body. But also that feedback from the heart. The beat of the heart as it ripples back through the palms all the way along the body and down towards the feet, and all the way up towards the top of the head. Now taking the palms and bringing them across the belly, and just taking a big inhale and exhale, and really feel the body lift and lighten as you inhale, and sink back down to the chair as you exhale. And again, this time as you breathe in and out, just checking in with the length, the depth, the rhythm of the breath. Really feel the breath filling the palms as they wrap around with those interlocked fingers towards the side body. Now today we're really going to focus on that ability to lengthen, to lighten the body each time we breathe in, and soften the body, allowing the weight to sink down. So we deepen into the stretch each time we breathe out. And slowly opening the eyes, nice soft gaze. Taking the palms back across the knees, and we're going to start with some shoulder rotations. So what I'm drawing imaginary circles across either side of the room with the tops of the shoulders, so the corners of the collarbones. So we take our shoulders forward and up towards the ears, and then back and down. And as we do so, we may find that our palms just run along the tops of the thighs, the warmth of the palms now, just gently heating our thigh muscles, our quadriceps. But also that release now across the shoulders, across the chest, collarbone, along the sides of the neck. When you feel rotated enough in one direction, we do the same in the opposite. So now taking the shoulders back and up, and forward and down. Inviting yourself through each inhale and exhale, just to deepen into that stretch. So inhale as we lift the shoulders up, and exhaling to lower them back down again. Okay, let's take our head back into a neutral position, shoulders back into a neutral position. Let's tip our head back this time. And close our eyes just for a moment. And as we allow the weight of the head just to fall back over the tops of the shoulders, we feel that length now all the way from the jawline, down along the front of the neck towards the top of the chest, towards the Adam's apple. Still with our eyes closed now, let's take our chin forward towards our chest. And now allowing the weight of the head just to tip forward. And as we do so, we now feel that length along the back of the neck, the top of the spine, across the tops of the shoulders, and then back towards the centre again. We'll open our eyes now, and we take our right ear down towards our right shoulder, feeling that length now on the left side of the neck, tipping our head back, across to the left side, left ear to left shoulder, and then down. And again, we're using the weight of the head here to deepen into the stretch and integrating that breath where possible. Inhaling as we look up, lifting the chin up towards the ceiling, tilting the head back, and exhaling, chin back down towards the chest and round. Rotating one direction and then the other. And just to ease any tension along the length of the neck, tops of the collarbones, across the shoulders, and maybe even along the arms. Now back into a neutral position, back to the centre. Now I'm going to turn myself around towards the side. You stay where you are. Got my palms now across the knees. Inhale and exhale, really engaging the abdominal muscles. I really feel as though the belly button is drawing in towards the spine, towards the back body. Pressing down gently through the palms across the knees. We inhale to lift and look up. Opening the chest forward between the upper arms, arching the spine, tailbone pointing back. And exhaling chin to chest, rounding the spine back, tucking the tailbone and extending the arms. We do that for 4 more breaths. And maybe even closing the eyes again. And just really feeling each time you breathe in and you lift the chin up, chest forward, arching the spine. Elbows in towards the ribs just to maximise that space across the chest. And exhaling as you round back. Tucking the tailbone and the chin towards the chest, lengthening the arms. And just really inviting that flexion, extension, really understanding and exploring the full range of movements available along the spine. Through waking the back body up from top to bottom. Now bring yourself back up into a neutral position and open the eyes if you've had them closed. I'm just going to bring myself back round towards the front again. I'm going to lift my arms up and overhead this time and feel that length as we inhale, shoulders now down away from the ears. As I exhale, I'm going to twist around towards the left hand side. I'm going to bring the left hand across the outside of the right knee. I'm going to bring that back hand around the back of the chair. I'm just using that as a lever. Now we inhale to lengthen. We've still got our gaze in the same direction as the chest. And then I'm going to, as I exhale, just rotate the gaze round over my back shoulder. Now if that feels uncomfortable for you at all, feel free just to keep the chin and the gaze in the same direction as the chest. Wherever you end up in this position, inhaling to lengthen. So really feel that lightness, lift in the body. Exhaling as you rotate and soften into the twist. Inviting that lateral movement for the spine. Inhaling to the centre, lifting the arms back up again, shoulders away from the ears. And we'll twist around towards the opposite side. And again, you might find one side feels very different to the other. And don't force it. If it really feels like you're compromising the breath at all, breath becomes short and shallow, then just ease out of the twist that little bit. Inhaling, bring yourself back to the centre. We'll keep the arms up and overhead. Exhaling, lowering the left arm down, and we're going to fold across towards that left side. Now if again that top shoulder feels like it's lowering down and compromising that space across the chest, lifting that upper arm back up again just to maintain that space. Inhaling back to centre and over to the opposite side. And really feel as though you're grounding down into that opposite hip, maximising that space, that length that's created along the side body, and directing the breath into that space that you're creating. So inhaling as you lift and reach across, exhaling, grounding down through that opposite side, and really supporting that release along the side body. Now back to centre again, both arms up and overhead, hands back across the knees. I'm just going to take my feet and knees just that little bit wider than the hips. In fact, I'm just going to take this, just going to lower this down a little bit actually. Not quite happy about that position of the camera. Right, just one second. Right, let's just go a little bit lower. That's better. Okay, so you can see a little bit more of me now. Okay, so just about, let's see, just take myself back a little bit further. Okay, so feet and knees that little bit wider than the hips. We're going to clasp and interlock our fingers again, and we're going to just start rotating around in one direction. So as we do so, we're just allowing that opening, that space to now be created across the hips. Again, another area in which we often store a lot of tension when we're seated for extended periods. And as we integrate the breath into this movement, we inhale as we reach forward, nice and slowly, exhaling as we reach back. When we feel like we've finished on one side, rotate around in the opposite direction. As I often say in my sessions, this almost feels like you're stirring your porridge you're having for breakfast. So this can be as short and shallow, or as deep and long as feels good to you. Okay, let's bring ourselves back round to a neutral position. Again, I'm going to turn myself back round towards the side. Now, you're not going to be able to necessarily see my foot on the floor here, but what I will do is lift my leg up. So I'm going to take the left leg up. As you can see, there's my left leg. Okay, I'm going to place the left heel down on the floor. And in fact, I'm going to take myself towards the front of the chair. So really feel as though I'm perching forward on the chair, but not falling off, hopefully. I'm going to bend my right knee. There's my right knee. Okay, so bend my right knee. Inhaling to lift the arms up and overhead. Nice, shoulders nice and relaxed away from the ears again. And as I exhale, I'm going to fold forward. That left hand is just going to land somewhere along the leg. Now, it's not important whether it reaches all the way down towards those toes. It can land on the shin, all the way up towards the knee, whatever feels comfortable for you. Key things here, maintaining that space across the chest, that length along the spine, and with this right arm, we're just going to place the right forearm across that bent right knee, okay? And as we extend into this stretch, we inhale to lengthen. And as we exhale and deepen, we really feel that length, that sensation all the way along the back of the left leg. If that feels uncomfortable at all, feel free just to introduce a subtle bend to that left knee. And just holding this for about 5 more breaths. And each inhale and exhale, you might find that you can lift that little bit higher, sink that little bit deeper. So the back of the leg just warms up that little bit all the way from the left hip down towards the left heel. And introduce a subtle bend into that left knee now if you've not done so already. And then lifting yourself back up again. Do the same with the right leg. So here's my right leg, hello right leg. Placing that right heel down on the floor, taking myself towards the front of the chair. Bent left knee now, there's the left knee. Inhale and lift up. Shoulders away from the ears, nice and relaxed. Inhaling to lengthen, really feel as though we're lifting those fingers up towards the ceiling. And exhaling, allowing that right hand now to land along the right leg. And placing the left forearm across the bent left knee. And again, lifting, lengthening, creating space across the chest. As you inhale, and exhaling to deepen, so as you sink the upper body forward, across the hips. And just really feel that intensification really of the stretch along the back of the right leg. Again, when we sit for extended periods, we often find the hamstrings in particular become very short because you're just not having that opportunity to really lengthen. And not only causes tightness along the back of the legs, but can also cause lower back pain. So it's great to be able to kind of find a way, just through a seated pose like this, to just lengthen the hamstrings, the calf muscles, all the way down towards the heels. And then bending, subtle bend in that right knee, and then lifting it back up again. Now bring myself back round to the front. Again, you stay forward. I'm going to lift my right foot up this time. There's the sole of my right foot, thankfully looking pretty clean. I'm going to start rotating the toes, almost imagining that I'm drawing circles now across the opposite side of the room in one direction. And just exploring that full range of movements available to you across the ankles. And then back down. We do the same with the left leg. Left foot, drawing circles now with the toes in one direction and then the other. And then placing the left foot alongside the right. And now my favourite bit, shaking the whole body out. Now what better way to kind of feel good at the start of the day than just shaking all the way from head to toe. So just finding whatever movements feel good to you. To shake out, just being careful that you don't fall off a chair. Makes me realise how long my arms and legs are when I'm shaking around like this. And then placing the feet back down on the floor. palms across the knees, and just closing the eyes. Whew, that feels good. And what an awesome way to start the day. 15 minutes, that's all it's took. Let's regulate the breath again, regulate the heartbeat. Let's interlock our fingers, as we did at the start, wrapping the palms around the heart. Feeling the warmth of the palms now, maybe that little bit warmer. Just providing that soothing heat for the heart and the rest of the body. But also the heart beating back through the palms again, maybe that little bit stronger, and through the rest of the body. And sharing this virtual space together, sharing each heartbeat together, as we now bring our palms in, still interlocked, through the fingers across the belly, and slowing, steadying the rhythm of the breath, seeing how much lighter you now feel through each inhale, how much softer the body feels, how much calmer you feel each time you breathe out. Nice soft gaze, open the eyes. There we go. Perfect. How long have we taken? 15 minutes, pretty much perfect. Just to finish off, just to say this is all in aid of 6 amazing local charities that have been doing some fantastic work during the COVID response. So this week we're shining a light on Age UK. So we're putting a post out later just with the first of fundraising facts, I suppose, for the charities, and I'll be doing one each day this week. Age UK this week, Julian House for domestic abuse next week. Then it's Keynsham Food Bank as part of the Trussell Trust. We have Suicide Prevention Bristol, St Mungo's for homelessness, and Off the Record for young people's mental health. So over the course of the next 6 weeks, 15-minute sessions every day. Tell your friends, family to join. More importantly, get those guys to donate to these charities. They're doing some fantastic work locally. Really appreciate it, and I know they would too.